fourth special speaker is Vice Admiral Adam M. Robinson, Jr.
Aloha. Aloha. To the distinguished guests, to our political leaders, to flag and general officers, to the VIP speakers, and to the VIPs here. The VIPs here are actually the men and the women, those who have borne the war, both in Vietnam and Korea. Aloha and good morning to you. I'm Adam Robinson. I'm a physician. I'm a retired Vice Admiral. I was the Surgeon General of the Navy, the 36th, and I'm now the Director of the VA Pacific Islands Healthcare System. Mahalo for inviting me to speak today, because it is truly an honor to be here. It is always an honor when I can get up and give tribute to those who have borne the war, who have sacrificed their bodies, their minds, and their spirits, who have made the ultimate sacrifice, but also the commitment to service that we so sorely need in all of our societies today, because all of us have to be committed to more than either ourselves or to individuals. We need to be committed to an ethos of honor, an ethos of courage, and an ethos of commitment. So thank you for allowing me to come today. On behalf of the VA Pacific Islands Healthcare System, we are dedicated to thanking and honoring all the veterans of the Korean War, their families, and especially those who lost loved ones in war. Now at the VA, we honor all veterans from every war, but today I'm just going to talk about Korean War because, as Mayor Blangiardi and all the other speakers have said, it is actually the forgotten war. It's never been classified as a war, and yet it was absolutely a war. It's been classified as a conflict, but it was a hot war, and it was devastating both for the physical loss and also the structural loss and the differences in the communities and the peoples that endured it. Although it's been 74 years since the beginning of the Korean War, and while many may have forgotten, those who lived it still come together every year in honor of those they lost. We are fortunate for those who still remember what it takes to serve. There are those who say nothing was gained in this war, that the status quo of the two nations remained the same, but nothing could be further from the truth. The differences in the Koreas today is extraordinary. North Korea has by all media reports, remains a barren nation. South Korean people have improved their country and their own lifestyle. Gone are the dirt roads, the thatched roofs, the wooden bridges replaced by paved roads, skyscrapers, and steel bridges. The Korean War was the first test of the United Nations' resolve to stand against tyranny in all of its forms. 21 nations banded together with the United States and South Korea in a remarkable display of solidarity to turn back aggression and stem the tide of communism. The armistice signed in 1953 that remains in effect today reminds us that we must remain vigilant against the forces of tyranny and oppression. The Korean War also saw the advent of aeronautical, medical, and societal changes. Helicopters were introduced to transport casualties to field hospitals. Jets became the new standard for aircrafts. Leading-edge radio technology allowed better coordination of troop movements. And mobile Army surgical hospitals, the MASH units, placed experienced medical personnel closer to the front lines, improving a wounded service member's chances for survival. Perhaps the most lasting impact of the Korean War was the social change that was manifested in American society. You see, in 1948, President Truman signed Executive Order 9981, implementing the full integration of America's armed forces. Thus, America went to war in Korea for the first time in her history with a military that was integrated and reflected the diversity of her society. The selfless sacrifices of the veterans who fought in Korea to ensure the freedom and prosperity we enjoy today must always be acknowledged. It must always also be remembered. The veterans who shivered in the trenches, tracked through knee-deep mud, flew combat missions over rugged mountainous terrains, and stood watch over hostile seas, set aside their own comfort, safety, and aspirations to answer the call to arms at a time when our nation was still exhausted from the horrors of the Second World War. These patriots halted the tide of aggression and that threatened to sweep over the Korean Peninsula. Today, the Republic of Korea stands as a modern, prosperous, vibrant democracy because of the courage of the people that sacrificed themselves during the Korean War. As a veteran, I'm humbled to be in the presence of all of you who are Korean War veterans. I'm also humbled to be in the presence of all of you who are Vietnam veterans and who are veterans from our military. It is an honor to be with you. Mahalo nui loa for your service and your sacrifices you have made on behalf of our nation. May we all live in peace and aloha. Mahalo.